Many congratulations to the top three finishers of the FIA Formula One Belgian Grand Prix. In third place, Charles Leclerc. In second place, Lando Norris. And taking the 8th win of his Formula One career and his 6th of this 2025 campaign, our winner, Oscar Piastri. Oscar, it was a beautifully judged win. Very well done. Just take us into the cockpit. How tricky was the race and how hard was it to make those medium compound tyres last?
It was a tough race. Difficult conditions at the start. And then just trying to manage the inters firstly because it was drying, relatively quickly, but you can kill the inters, in a lap or two if you really want around here. So that was a bit tricky. And then I felt good on the mediums for about 5 laps, and then, when when I could see that the hard on Lando's car was not worse than the medium, then I was a bit nervous, considering we had nearly 25 laps to go at that point. So I had to be a bit careful, but it held on in the end much better than I feared. So I think in the end I had to manage a bit, but nothing special.
Did you consider putting the hard tyre on at the stop?
We'd spoken about it before the race. It was quite a late decision to pit on the lap we did. But there's risks either way. If I was in Lando's position, I probably would have done the same thing. But at that point, it seemed like the safest thing to do was go on the medium, because the hard is 2 steps harder here. You don't know how it's going to react in those kind of conditions. If there's a safety car, which often there is in those conditions, then you probably want a medium, not a hard. So there's risks both ways, but ultimately I'm happy with what we did.
The overtake on the opening lap just proved so crucial. Did you know that you had to get it done then in order to win the race?
I knew it was going to help me pretty significantly if I did. I knew it was going to be crucial. I had a good run out of turn 1, and then tried to be as brave as I dared through Eau Rouge, and was able to stay pretty close. And then then after that the slipstream did the rest for me. But I knew that was going to be pretty important for trying to win the race today.
All right, and let's throw it forward to Hungary. Oscar, just how much are you looking forward to getting out there in the MCL 39, the scene of your first win last year?
I'm excited to go back. It's always a fun weekend. It's a great city, a cool track as well. I'm sure Thursday will be nice to go back to where I had my first win. But as soon as we get on track, you forget about that immediately. So, it'll be cool. But I'll enjoy today for a bit first.
All right, very well done to you, Oscar. Thank you very much for that. Lando, very well done to you as well. Both races this weekend have been won from second on the grid, and having started from pole today, does that fact sum up your afternoon?
I don't know. It's hard. I didn't have the best turn 1, so hard to know how much that played a part. At the same time, like, Oscar came past me pretty easily, so even if I had a better turn 1, his run and the slipstream, probably still would have got me. So, not too disappointed. Of course, disappointed to finish second, but when you saw Saturday and you saw today, then P1 didn't look the best place to begin with. But I also didn't get the best turn 1, so I need to look at what I could have done better.
You say you didn't get the best turn 1, but you also talked about battery issues as well at the start. Was that a factor?
I need to look at it with the team. I don't know.
Okay. Talk us through the decision to go to the hard tyre, something we were just talking about with Oscar. How much were you rolling the dice?
I wasn't. Will said, "Do I want the hard tyre?" And I said yes. That was about that was it. Oscar, I didn't even know Oscar was on the medium, to be honest with you. So that didn't influence my decision. It was just I thought the hard tyre would be a slightly better tyre to the end, a bit trickier to get warmed up, and the opening laps maybe a little bit more of a struggle, which I think it was. yeah, I think the last few laps I had the advantage in terms of grip, but was not a great pit stop. Was the second one to stop, so I think I lost like 8-9 seconds just by being the second car to box, and to catch Oscar from that gap is quite an achievement. So I didn't think I'd be able to catch. I gave it a good shot, but just not close enough.
You boxed a lap later than Oscar. Did you consider double stacking and just waiting in the pit lane?
I need to ask the team. It's tough because, I mean, you're also going to lose quite a good chunk of time doing that as well. But considering the slick tire was so much better by that point, yeah, like Oscar said, it was a late call for us to box on that lap. I think if we review it, we probably would have kicked ourselves a little bit for staying out as long as we did. I think there was enough evidence that we should have boxed early, but no one boxed that early. It was just Lewis, I think, that boxed one lap earlier than us. So, yeah, I think it was just more painful for me that Oscar kind of got the good lap. I had to go one lap longer. That's life.
All right, Lando, thank you very much for that. Charles, let's come to you. Great job by you as well. A high-pressure race, and you came out on top in that battle with Max Verstappen. Just how satisfying is this result for you?
Well, it's nice. I don't think we expected it, especially after the sprint qualifying. When I saw the gap with the top three, I was like, okay, it's going to be probably the best we can do this weekend. And then yesterday we did a really good lap. We did take a little bit of a gamble with the lower downforce compared to people around us, and then the rain today was tricky. The first part of the race was very difficult, and Max definitely was faster than me, so I had to keep him behind there. Which we did, and then once we went on the slicks, things came a bit more towards me, and yeah, there I just knew I had to do the job, and P3 could be ours, which at the end is, and I'm very happy.
The gap between the two of you seemed pretty static throughout the race. Did he try a move on you at any point, particularly in the wet part?
When you realised, oh, this could be on, was it as you were coming out of turn one? And how, I guess, how do you go about planning such a committed move? Because I think it all surprised us all just how close you got.
Yeah, I mean, I had a good restart in general. I was close into the last chicane, had an okay run out of the last chicane, and then a good exit out of turn one. And then, yeah, the move through Eau Rouge, I knew that it was going to be by far my best opportunity to try and win the race. And I'd been thinking about it for a while, put it that way. So, yeah, obviously in those conditions, it's a little bit more difficult than if it's dry. But I knew that I had to try and do that. And yeah, when I watched the onboard back, it didn't look quite as scary as it felt in the car. But yeah, I knew that I had to be very committed to pull that off.
Thank you. Any more? Yes, please.
Tom Gurt, pole position. Charles, you told us yesterday that the car didn't respond well to the rain. Today, the track got drier and drier. Did it felt better than when it rained, or did you felt that sometimes difficulties with it?
I mean, at the beginning of the race, I think it will have been very unlikely that we will stand on the podium. If it was a full wet race, especially with the amount of downforce we had, it was very difficult to actually make those tires work. But luckily for us, it dried up pretty quickly, and then the car became nice again to drive. But before that, it was difficult. But I also had that in mind yesterday in qualifying, and probably didn't go as extreme as I normally used to in terms of setup for the dry, which also probably helped for the first part of the race today.
Thank you. Another one? Yeah, Luke.
Luke Smith from the Athletic. For all three of you, it was quite a long wait until we got racing, but then got the full distance in. Were you guys satisfied? Do you think we could have maybe restarted a little bit earlier?
I think it's always a fine tuning. I have to say that on track like this, with what happened historically, I think you cannot forget about it. And for that reason, I'll rather be safe than too early. And so yeah, Again, I think it's a constant discussion, and we'll probably feed the people that made this decision back that maybe it was a little bit on the late side, but I wouldn't have changed anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think the past few years, particularly here, we've given the FIA feedback that we would much rather be on the safe side than risk anything, and I think that's what we did today. I think if you were to be picky, maybe we could have done one less formation lap, but in the grand scheme of things, if that's one lap too early, is it worth it? No. So I think also us three are the worst people to ask because we have the least amount of cars in front of us. So yeah, for someone at the back, the first time we tried to start the race, even for myself with just Lando ahead, I couldn't see a thing. So you can only imagine what it's like for the guys at the back. So that's always a tough thing to balance because the guys at the front have an easier time than the guys at the back.
Lando, your thoughts? Same? Okay. Any more questions from the floor, please? If there's no more questions, we will leave it there. Very well done, gentlemen.
Oscar Piastri claimed victory in a dramatic wet-to-dry Belgian Grand Prix, holding off teammate Lando Norris to increase his title lead. After an 80-minute rain delay and a safety car start, Piastri passed pole sitter Norris early and pulled ahead thanks to better tire strategy. Norris switched to hard tires and pushed late in the race, but 3 small mistakes, including one at La Source on the penultimate lap, cost him a chance to retake the lead. Piastri secured his 6th win of the season, now leading Norris by 16 points heading into the Hungarian GP. Charles Leclerc finished a strong 3rd for Ferrari, while Max Verstappen came 4th. Lewis Hamilton recovered from 18th to 7th, but couldn't pass Alex Albon, who took an impressive 6th. George Russell finished 5th as Mercedes struggled overall. Rookie Kimi Antonelli ended in 16th. Liam Lawson, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Pierre Gasly rounded out the top 10.